And this is, like you say, this is the first event in over 4 years' time in this region, and how fitting that it has the largest prize pool and the largest turnout ever as well. Mexico City and Latin America showing up in a big way as usual. This will be Cintanegra versus Cintanegra X. Game number 1 going to be Strongholds on Streets.
A perfect game to start with. Fast-paced, control, power weapons, everything you love to see in Halo, and especially on Halo Infinite, is here in play. And we're certainly going to get to decide who is the better of the Cintanegra teams as we now get underway. And we're going to start off with the point of view, of Luar.
Yeah, we'll have to see what these teams have in store, and just so much pressure on these teams on this main stage. They've been playing all weekend. They've had good results so far. They've been the most talked about. Leor with a nice set of kills there. That will be 3 dead for Cintanegra OG off the opening.
Nice little weapon drop as well to see if you can get the finish with that battle rifle after breaking the shields with the Stalker. But for now, the weapons that are in the hands of Cintanegra X, and the rockets are certainly the one that you want to have in your control. A nice double kill coming in. Cintanegra X find themselves on the back foot as far as control is concerned, but a couple of kills could turn that around very quickly.
Yeah, back and forth between these two. We've seen about 3 dead for both sides back to back, which has led unsurprisingly to a pretty even scoreline, though it will be BC control in favor of X at the moment. We'll see if they can hold on to it.
Really hot start here from X. Another kill picked up, another double kill picked up by Luor, and that's not the first time we've seen that already in this game. So Cintanegra kind of caught off guard a little bit, I think, at the start of this game. You're looking at Cintanegra X, excuse me, it's getting a little bit late over here in the UK as well, and a couple of players already showing form. Luar and Sepstars. Sepstars currently sat at 4-0.
I mean, yeah, what a start for him, and how much have we talked about Sepstars today? Well, Guardian actually loses his opponent. Something happened to Tires. Looks like he'll trade out with Leor. No, Leor's going to get away. And as you could tell, kind of juking around Tires there. Nice shots here coming in from Pringel. 2 dead for both sides there as we take a look at back A, and the drop shield didn't do too much help there. We're still going to see more kills coming in here for the side of Pringel.
And this is a great start, as you say. Cintanegra X not only picking up slays, but turning it into points. Finally, Cintanegra get a little bit of a stronghold control, but it's going to be flipped almost immediately. But Cintanegra look like they've got the reset onto B and will be able to convert C. So the hot start from Cintanegra and the slays that went alongside it converted into points, nearly 60 of them. But this is the opportunity now for Cintanegra to try and catch up.
Yeah, that is. Just holding down the L here for just a second as Pringel, and tries to stay alive, as long as he can. Had that Bulldog Stalker, which would have been valuable, but it will unsurprisingly be stripped. 3 dead for CNX at the moment, which gives us a chance to see what Johan's up to. The man was popping off yesterday. Unbelievable performances, and I think anyone who caught the clips on social knows that this man is capable of great things.
Yeah, it was an interesting battle, that with Pringel and Johan going up against each other. Arguably the 2 players who have impressed most on their respective squads with individual ability. But individual ability, you don't need too much of it when you've got the rockets in your hand, and it's going to be Magico who has them for Cintanegra. So the scoring has flipped, and so has the score and the lead. As you can now see, BC hold turns into a 66-point lead over to 58.
And how often do we see it, right? The higher seeded team, the team that's maybe a bit more favored, and to be honest, historically, the team that also wins the series, they play a little bit slow and steady to win the race in a Strongholds game. They might lose the first few engagements, but really it's all about your overall strategy across the 250 points. And just as you say, Cintanegra will take the lead.
We'll take the lead, but it looks like a good push actually coming from Cintanegra X, which is going to reset things just momentarily. However, a really strong push on A here from the remaining members of Cintanegra, and some wonderful shots coming in from Johan. Means that A will be flipped as well, and now we have Cintanegra a little bit trapped at B here. Staggered spawns coming in as well. This might be a really good chance here for Cintanegra to collapse.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do. Good damage on the red room, but needs to make sure he converts on Pringel. Easier said than done. Did enough damage, but an interestingly 1-for-1 trade there, which is not what they would have expected. Now over here to Nasty Bullet. He'll get taken down as well, 2 dead for each side.
I think we're going to go with Cintanegra and maybe CX or CNX.
CNX. I was going to say CNX
make
is
it as easy for you guys at home to be following, as obviously Cintanegra is the organization shared by both of these teams. So we'll go with that for now. Cintanegra are the team who have the lead for now, and even though it was a strong start and we talked about that 60 points, look at the score now, doubling up on their opponents, and CNX really struggling to get any kind of control. The kills just aren't falling in their favor.
Yeah, they're not here. Let's see what can happen with these rockets. It's going to be in the hands of Mexico. He's going to find Leor. That's an easy first rocket. Second one should be easy as well. Doble muerte for Mexico on screen. He'll stay alive in PD as long as he can.
We'll be able to get the reset as well, so that should be a pretty comfortable score. However, 2 players full. And that'll be a flip of C by the looks of things. But Johan has other ideas, manages to just eliminate that player who was in charge of getting the objective back into the hands of his squad. Johan tries to challenge once more, and finally it looks like Cintanegra X will get hold of C, but a lot of resources dedicated towards that flip. But they do have players at B as well. Flood's now coming in on the pink street from Cintanegra. They want to try and take C.
Yeah, we'll see if CNX can hold here. It's not going to be easy. A little bit of progress, as you mentioned, starting on C. Now back to Mexico, still patrolling around tires, but going to be a clunky battle there. And actually does not trade out Leor with a very nice win, and that Rimingel is going to help with that. Means more kills for CNX. Maybe they can get a third here and continue scoring. They'll be traded out, but BC will continue to stay in the hands of CNX for the moment. But Mexico wants to say something about that.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be able to convert this one. Not too much pressure. Plus the respawns coming over at PD means they'll move up to support him as he makes that conversion onto B. And now you have the battle around Cafe and A for control and continued control for Cintanegra. If they can hold it down and get those kills. Speaking of which, you can see on your screen at the moment, the Sevstars is just running through people at the moment. And by doing so, B will be moved back over to Cintanegra. So they are not done yet. Even though the score is 159 to 90, it is the 90 which is rising.
Yeah, we'll see what Sevstars can do. As we said, he was putting on an absolute show earlier, and certainly started to tell the beginning of what could be a pretty epic story for the weekend. Now back over to Dolan, who we also saw with some great plays earlier on today as well. That'll bring the score now 159 on the board, about 109.
Rockets in the hands of Rimgel as well, and this man knows how to use a power weapon, let me tell you that. Let's see if he can do it now. He's only got one more in the chamber to play with, playing this one nice and patiently, and will get a little bit of splash damage, but maybe not what he would have wanted. Now the push can come in, but look at the team fire coming in from his teammates. You have to wonder if Sevstars could have just survived a little bit longer there, waiting for his teammates to pick up a couple of those kills. Unfortunately, he loses his life, but Cintanegra on the other side lose 3.
I tell you what, you're no longer in pool play. That splash damage isn't going to be enough. We're now in the big leagues into bracket play, and you're going to need to make sure that those rockets connect. Still, though, as long as we say that, still a BC hold in favor of CNX, but B now starting to flip just a little bit.
Well, they had to go back, though, because you can see the Cintanegra X, CNX are trying to make a flip onto A. And they're out-rotating their opponents at the moment. If this kill gets picked up, boom, 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 finally manages to get picked up by Sevstars, they will be able to convert A. There's a little battle going on at C as well, and that will be such a good team play coming in from CNX, choosing to leave B, to out-rotate their opposition, beat them to that stronghold, and then the respawners can push up that B street and kind of formulate that pinch. For now, though, more players to deal with. One of them will be dealt with. Spike Grenade not going to do the damage to get the double, but 2 dead per side means that scoring will continue here for CNX, and they go into the lead. Yeah, nice little 180 right now to 159 lead, leading by over 20 points here in the home stretch. Now, it's not over yet. It might look like they're pretty comfortable in these final moments, but there's still a lot of strongholds to play. Bullet will get traded out in the back with Rimgel. Sevstars also taken down, so a minor momentary advantage for Cintanegra. We've seen a lot of decent holds from both teams so far, but it has been flipped both ways. You've got to remember it was about 120, doubling the points for Cintanegra over CNX before they made this comeback that we see in front of us right now. They got that 195, 4 points on the board, and now you see B and C in the hands of Cintanegra. They're catching up once more. Maybe it's going to be doing. No, with this Bulldog that can cause problems. He gets taken down, and Cintanegra, they secure the rockets as well.
Yeah, Johan with that rocket. Rimgel was the only player alive. That's the one that's challenging. Johan actually doubles back to think about trying to take him down, and luckily he stays alive, avoids these grenades, and now with this rocket could really do some damage on Neons.
Needs to be patient with it, though. You can see he's got one player to deal with around his teammate. Rimgel is being a nuisance here. He gets eliminated, and now Johan can move back in to make sure that A is in their hands. He can also watch the pink street. And also with the time that has expired since those rockets have been picked up, you have to wonder if CNX even realized there's still a rocket on the map.
Absolutely. Now look at us. They're about to cross the 200-point mark in just a second. B does get challenged, but still the game is within 5 points, and what a fantastic game 1 in the series.
And that is why staying alive is so important. You've got a power weapon. It took him a time to finally fire the rocket out of the chamber, but it stopped that conversion onto B. It keeps them scoring, and now he can re-challenge again, but Rimgel wins that fight, and A is getting flipped here. So AC now in the hands of CNX, and they are catching up once more. We've almost got a tie game.
Let's see what Mexico can do here. Bulldog in hand, thrust in hand as well. He's in a vulnerable position, but knows he needs to move quick, stay alive if he can, and just trying to do the damage, but he kind of put himself right in the mid-map and allowed himself to get collapsed on, so that's going to put them 2 dead.
A little bit of a risky play coming in here from Cintanegra as well. They tried to push for this triple cap. And when you get a little bit split and when everyone's not on the same page, it can leave opportunities for other strongholds to be turned over. That is exactly what has happened. And now CNX are about to tie up this game with only around 40 points left. They get 3 dead as well. Nasty Bullet's the last alive here. And you can see from Humgal's point of view, he knows exactly where he is.
He does, and there's less than 10 points away now. Just 5 points. They're about to tie the game. Still 2 dead for Cintanegra. Make it 3 dead. 2 of the players are spawners. That's going to be Guardian and Mexico, and this might be the home stretch here, especially this series that's going to come in, but good pressure coming in from Humgal.
Oh, Mexico had to win that fight, and he did. And that means that C will stay in the control of Cintanegra. They will be scoring. They go into just a 1-point lead. Johan has the rockets. One doesn't get the kill. It does some damage. His teammates take damage as well. A desperate push onto B. He gets 1, but is it enough here? The desperate plays around B coming in from both teams. They know that a B flip here could win the game.
Well, let's see what happens here. Ooh, great movement, but it's answered back by amazing shots from Bullet as well. The pressure continues. Johan, last player alive for Cintanegra.
Stepstars just got a massive double kill to extend this fight over at B. B is being held desperately by Cintanegra X. And now finally you can see the Guardian is going to be able to break that hole, but what is happening elsewhere on the map? Because Cintanegra have lost 2. The spike grenades come in as well, and even though they flipped a stronghold, you have to think surely that CNX are going to be able to get in that stronghold, but they just run in. They fly by and just losing. They're cool in these final minutes. It's now all on the shoulders of Dula to try and convert A. He manages to do so, but now he's just getting frantic with just a few points here for CNX.
Yeah, look, B's about to flip. Let's see what happens at A and C. A and C flip at the same time. Oh my God, down to the wire. What you thought was a for sure CNX win is stopped by a double flip at A and C, and now the game is within 3.
This next set of kills is the game. It's as simple as that, and if they don't happen quickly, then it could be game over. The grenade is massive though, and that's going to allow them to jump into A here. Huge moment. Lior trying to do what he can to scrap away, but it's not going to be enough, and the Ninja won't even count.
Oh my God.
Get me into game 2. 240 to 250 is the final score. Cintanegra, hold on.
We could not ask for a better way to start this series. We knew this was going to be a great Saturday night series, but that was unbelievable. Back and forth the exact way you want your street strongholds to be played in the end. It is the OGs, the first team, Cintanegra, that will take game number 1. Guardian, Johan, Nasty Bullet, and Mexico. Got to be happy with what they were able to do with those late game performances. At the same time that B was flipping, they get a simultaneous AC flip, and they win the game by 10 points.
And CNX just desperately throwing body after body after body, death after death after death to try and get control of B. Allowed that to happen because just walking up the pink street was completely free. And having expended all those resources, it was left to a desperate play over at A in the last seconds to try and flip that. And again, maybe that's the difference, right? A little bit more experience, a little bit more cohesion, a little bit more coolness. And being in those situations before carried them through in those final moments.
Absolutely. Let's look at the estadísticas. Johan, 21 kills. Unsurprising to see. Mexico, 21 kills. And then looking on the other side, 23 for Leor. He goes 23 and 22. But look how close every single KD is. That tells you just how close and back and forth this game was.
Yeah, and surprising to see a little bit of a slow game actually from Bullet. Usually he's the player who you can count on to be consistent, but a lot of assists from him for sure, but quite a lot of deaths alongside it without the kills is a little bit of a standout for me. But I mean, you're looking at the kills on the other side of things, and you have to look at those stats and you're wondering what went wrong, boys. We seem to be outslaying them. We had a lot of space on the map. We got to make more of it. We got to be a little bit more efficient in our rotations to those strongholds.
I mean, heavily outslayed when you factor in the stats that you just pointed out. Nasty Bullet, right? 10 and 18, and the rest of the team on the other side is 19, 23, 20, 18. There's really no excuse. They gave themselves all the space they needed, but it comes back to what we talked about earlier, just getting kills across the map, especially on a street strongholds. It might be your best example of it. Just getting kills across the map does not guarantee that you're going to get the points on the board.
I mean, look at the assists as well from CNX. They were ridiculous. 3 players, I think it was in double digits there, which is certainly impressive on Halo Infinite for sure. But again, stats, if you ever needed an example of stats not being everything about the game,
there it is.
Take a photo, take a video, clip it, whatever it is, and make sure that you've got that in the bank to use as an example in the future, because stats are one thing, but as we all know, there's only one stat that really matters, and that's that final score.
Yeah, it's that dub, and we're going to see Cintanegra take that first one. And to be honest, CNX is going to be feeling like they left a little bit on the table there, right? With the slaying control they had, with the late game lead around 240 to 208 at minimum. They let that one slip away, and luckily there's a lot more games to play in this series, but they need to make sure that they're focusing up and clutching up because they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, they need to bring that slaying prowess into game 2 though, because it's going to be Recharge Slayer, which, as we know, is a little bit unpredictable at the best of times with some of the most predictable teams in the world. So the fact that we've got two teams who are playing at this kind of pace and seem to be, as you say, 8 hours warmed up now, a long time they've been playing, they will be ready to certainly not miss any shots when it comes down to those important battles. And as we take a look at the series now, just remind ourselves what's to come after that. I mean, how do you see this one going? Is there a way back into this? And for us to see us going into a game 3 of Recharge all tied up?
I think we certainly can. I think what we saw there, 250 to 240, also the way it was played, right? CNX had that game in their hands. They did let ANC flip at the same time, and a little bit of late game coordination. That's the punishing thing, especially about Halo Infinite, right? That game was not really about who played it better. It was who played the last 2 minutes better. And when you have two teams that are this tight, that's how these games will go. Slayer Catalyst is going to be really interesting because it's going to play completely different to what we just saw, right? Stronghold Streets is you better be holding forward, you better be flying in, and you have to capitalize off of any damage that your teammates have gone in almost every circumstance. Slayer Catalyst is going to be a little bit different. You're going to need a lot more strategy, a lot more overhead thinking of how are you going to move across this map and make sure that your trades are the most meaningful, that you're trading 4 for 1, 4 for 2, and not making sure that you're on the receiving end of disadvantageous trades.
100%. And also we've seen how influential that overshield can be in this game type as well. You get that in your hands plus a sword and a grapple, you're going to have a lot of fun here by grappling down those tight hallways and find yourself in a close range to use that sword and certainly make a mincemeat of your opponent. But this is an opportunity here for Cintanegra to really put themselves in a good position in this series and go up 2-0. It would be a statement for sure, but Cintanegra X are going to look to answer back now and send us to game 3 all tied up.
They certainly are, and I think, is this our first Catalyst, you and I, this weekend?
It is.
I think it is. My
earlier,
gosh, yeah.
Day 2, and now we get to see Recharge. Recharge? I've called it Recharge.
He did it again. He called it Recharge. Don't worry. Here we are on Catalyst here.
Day, man.
It's also very late, as you said, in the UK, and it continues to get
25 a.m. Right?
It continues to get later and later in the UK without a doubt. But for these players, they can't worry about just how late it might be getting in Mexico City. They need to dig deep and find the late Saturday evening energy. It's Cintanegra up 1-0 right now over Cintanegra X, and it's also going to be an overshield and an early lead for them to start off game number 2.
An overshield and also a superior opening strategy by the looks of things. However, the overshield gets shredded pretty quickly. Sep starts putting more pressure on, but there is that teamwork. Cintanegra X, CNX lose 2. And off the break here, Cintanegra doubling up on their opponent's score, make it 7-3 now.
We'll see if Cintanegra can really apply the pressure once again. Even though they got outslayed in that last game, they knew exactly what they needed to do on that home stretch, and they put big points on the board towards the end. And a little bit of okay, first time I've seen it. How about you?
Yeah, get that thing out of here.
Playing the sword. Yeah, I like that play. To be honest, I've done the same thing with different weapons across different Halo titles. Maybe a bubble shield or two, if I'm honest. But sometimes you got to toss something off the map if you don't want it to be a factor, and that's exactly what they did. Wait.
Never know what's coming. Let's see if Cintanegra X can deal with what's coming here, and it looks like they're able to. 10-10, we're tied up. So CNX once again showing life here. 27 seconds till that overshield is popping. You can already see a fierce cross-map battle starting to take place as both teams try and get angles, try and get in a position to grab that. The first one went to Cintanegra. CNX will want to make sure that it's 1-1 after this overshield pops.
Dizzying amount of damage coming into Sepstars there as he has to gather himself. It looks like his head was spinning a bit from all the damage that was coming out on those ticks. But gotta say, a fantastic neck and neck start to game number 2 as well. 12-11 now in favor of Cintanegra. We'll keep an eye on that overshield. It might have been grabbed over these last exchanges. Haven't seen it on screen just yet. There it is.
Bullet might have just grabbed it, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it should be bottom mid. I think it's bottom mid.
Or maybe it was a burn. I'm not sure whatever is going to happen, but it looks like CNX are making a move for it. It was Grimgale initially who was engaging for it, and he will get it. So you correct me quite rightly, as you always do. And that'll be a huge opportunity now for them to extend the lead. The first overshield wasn't enough for Cintanegra to approach that second overshield of the game with a lead in their hands, and now they have to be extremely careful. Although Magico has The opportunity with this skewer to certainly put some barbecue meat together.
That thing is vicious. Nice play there by Hrimgel. You might have seen him with a little bit of bailando there. You might have seen the spinning he was doing. That's done just in case he dies. That'll make sure that the overshield gets played off of the map rather than staying on the light bridge. If you angle yourself just perfectly, you'll stay alive while you pop. But if you do die, it will be played automatically and it'll be a non-factor for the other team.
Well, 21-18, the game is still anyone's. We saw CNX in the lead for quite some time in the last game, and Cintanegra in those last few moments or so just had the ice to bring it back again. I wonder if we find ourselves in that position if CNX have learned from the mistakes of that first game.
That really is the question. And as you can tell, just a lot slower pace from that Stronghold Streets like we talked about. And anyone who's played enough of this game type is going to be familiar with that. But if you might be joining us maybe new to Halo Infinite, you will see this game type playing at a very different pace just because it does not have those same demanding timings that a Strongholds does. And to be honest, I think these two teams are thankful for it. They can take maybe a little bit of a breath in this game number 2 and just keep things close. It's now 23-21 in favor of CNX.
Keeping that 3-kill advantage, make it 4. The grapple not quite engaging quick enough. I also saw my favorite ping I've seen in Spanish so far, which was Grand Salon. And now, if you're from the north of England, if you say Grand Salon, it means something very different. I can only imagine that that is not the call out, right? Oh, grapple with the overshield.
Got taken down though. Overshield probably, yeah, based off the angle, just like you say, it probably got played off of the map in the end. Maybe the grapple also got played off the map. It was a successful grapple, but really good timing to answer back by the side of CNX to deny that overshield grab.
Well, look at the score. Look how close this is now. It's just 2 kills between the two teams. A little bit of a mini comeback here from Cintanegra as Hrimgel tries to escape and needs to escape because 2 of his teammates have fallen. He's coming under all sorts of fire, but somehow he's extending his life just long enough for his teammates to get a pick. But there is Bullet coming in behind enemy lines to give Cintanegra a lead. CNX once again letting their opponents just catch them up, giving away a few deaths they didn't need to, but we're tied up at 30 once more.
I mean, tied up at 30 once again. I love series like this. We're so lucky to get 2 teams that are so tightly stacked, and the series has been delivering, right? They're tied up here right at the 30 mark. 3 kills, though, go by the way of CNX as quickly as I say that, but we got to highlight Hrimgel. He is 14-7 in a game that only has a 4-kill difference.
Yeah, I mean, the guy is a little bit different when it comes to these Slayer games. He seems to just find the angles, find the cleanups, but also make sure that he gets out with his life and extends his life for as long as possible, which is always vital for that help to come in. And now we're seeing a little bit of Sepstars. He's saying, hey, it's not all Hrimgel right now, it's me as well. He's sat at 10-7, so a positive 3 for him, and he's trying to get some damage down. And now you've seen that lead change again. CNX, they've got a little bit of a cushion.
Yeah, very nice here. They'll maintain that lead. 37-34, make it 38, as we're going to see a nice little skewer coming in from Hrimgel. He's positive 7 in a game that they lead by 5. Another nice shot as well, and he wants to end this one as quickly as possible. Huge numbers from Hrimgel in this game so far.
Yeah, Vente de Garage. Don't know what that means, but it's what popped up on my screen, and that's what I'm going to say because Halo has never lied to me. Leo now is starting to make some moves of his own. It's a 6-kill advantage, goes for the stick. Teammate going to be there once more. 2 dead per side. It looks like the spawns are going to come in first here for Cintanegra.
41-36 now. CNX has played this game well so far. Can they close it out? It's not over yet. They've worked hard to get here, but still need to make sure they finish strong. It's a 5-kill lead.
Skewer is in the hands of Cintanegra here. Magico's the player who can make a difference, but he gets taken down as well. Look at this flood. Now coming in from CNX. It gets dealt with initially by Guardian. However, there is another player to deal with, is Lior, who's here, and he gets dealt with as well. So a 4-kill difference between the 2 teams. CNX have been here before, and in the last final minutes, can they make sure the mistakes are not repeated from game number 1?
Dolan with a great kill there. It's a big one to make sure it goes 45-40 instead of 44-41. Those are 2 very different things. Sword still out, though, for Guardian. They do not want to go down without a fight, and we could see a repeat of the last game if they're able to find the late game composure once again.
Player managed to just repulse himself away for a second to extend his life, but here comes Lior now. Big 1v1. No. Turns into a 2v1, and you're seeing it happen again in front of your eyes. It's now just a 2-kill game. Cintanegra, they love these final moments when the pressure is on. They seem to turn up.
These guys are the 1999 New York Yankees, which might not be a reference that's that well appreciated in Mexico City, but like you say, a one-kill game, 46-45. Cintanegra X with the lead. But Cintanegra wants to take this one. They'd love to steal game 2 as well.
They would, but this could be the end of it for the series. Johan, he gets the pick. Rumgel goes down as well. It's a huge lead change with just 3 kills to go now for Cintanegra, but it's just a 1-kill difference between the two teams.
All the pings going down. They need to build an arc because here comes the flood. Tries to fly in, but gets taken down. 48-47.
48-47. Overshield could win the game here. It's going to get picked up by Rumgel. He's got a 1v1 with Johan. Johan stays alive, but not for long enough. And in the last seconds, it's a 50-48.
Wow.
CNX tie up the series. What a mad ending to both games we've had so far.
Unbelievable series so far. This is fantastic. And how fitting. I mean, we needed this series to go 1-1. There's no way we could have let this go to a 2-0 lead. And also, you know that CNX could not allow themselves to blow the lead back-to-back in both of those games. They will clutch up in the end, and it came down to 2 big things, right, Mark? We saw a really bold push coming in from Cintanegra, and it just got ripped apart there on the gold side. And at the same time, off the back of that kill, Rumgel will slide right in, get the overshield, and make a very easy push in to close out the game 50-48. And just like that, we're tied up 1-1.
Well, I don't want to get too ahead of us here because I've seen this before, this fly through. Me and this fly through go back, and it's treated me badly. So I'm going to hope this time is going to be the turnaround. And this is going to be the start of the game 3 that we've been waiting for quite some time now. And hopefully it's going to be the start of the swing game for this series as well. So hopefully we're going to get there, and I'm hearing good news, everybody. We're into the game. Thank goodness we're here. We're live. This is not a replay, I'm telling you. And we have the opportunity to see who is going to go ahead in the series against Cintanegra and Cintanegra X.
Ekis.
Ekis.
Like Dos Equis.
Darn it.
Do you guys have Dos Equis in the UK?
No.
A beer? No?
No.
Okay, wow, okay. That's true, it's only Stella. All right, well, here we are. Game number 3. Series tied 1-1. Cintanegra and Cintanegra X. An epic series so far. Unbelievable matches. A 250-240 stronghold if you're just joining us. And then a 50-48 Slayer in game number 2 has set us up for an epic game number 3. And to be honest, rest of the series as well. 3 dead for Cintanegra off the break. We'll see what X can do.
Something so satisfying about seeing a one-shot get cleaned up in the LAN environment, right? Just whipping that battle rifle around and just clipping that player is enough to get the damage done. You know online that player is getting away 100% of the time. And now Rumgel is trying to put another player into the dirt. Not going to happen this time, but 21-2 is the score here. And Cintanegra X, who came off the back of that win, a very closely fought win in that game number 2, have the lead here in game number 3. Yeah,
Rumgel, the guy that got the overshield and also made the final push there on goal and put up an absolute show trying to connect on long hole as well. Has to retreat for just a second. Not a lot of ball time on the board just yet. We'll see what the next few minutes hold here. Is still going to be a battle for control.
Well, Rumgel is in the feed again with that shock rifle, and he is still creating space for his team to hold that odd boys. 24 points on the board right now, but with a couple of kills falling into the hands of Cintanegra X, then there is going to be the opportunity for them to scrap up a little bit more. But someone has to be aware of that oddball. They need to also be aware of this player pushing. They're holding off the push at the moment, and this is going to be more time. 3 players fall for Cintanegra.
Yeah, look at that. And we'll see Cintanegra X, or CNX, as we've been calling them, when our mouths get really tired. Have a lot of points on the board here. 40-2, 41-2 in the end. By the way, I've said I have a very tired mouth. By the way, I've said it before. No one will replace Jeff Steitzer. But ooh, speaking of, look at this eagle eye coming in. Rumgel almost does it. That will be CNX with 3 dead off the back of that. But my God, the Spanish-speaking announcer, I haven't actually changed my language in Halo Infinite.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but please go to Johan. I think he's just picked up a disgusting triple kill, and I was wondering if you get there because, sorry, Andy, we didn't get to see it. But please continue with your story.
No, to be honest,
you're completely right.
No, to be honest, I was keeping an eye on it too. I was thinking the same thing, and I'm glad you said something. And also, a little bit of deja vu, right? There's something about Johan with the shock at top glass. He just knows how to hit the multi-kills and knows how to put the points on the board. But CNX here now up 50-30, 20-point lead, about halfway done with the round.
Yeah, unfortunate circumstances for Johan as far as the stream is concerned, not catching some of those plays. But as far as the game is concerned, very, very important for his team that those plays do get made. However, 4 players fall now for Cintanegra, and now it's going to be CX who will have the opportunity to pick up this ball. They've got it back to blue, so the play ball is there. There's a wonderful kill. Can he turn 2? He almost did it to him. Dolan with some crispy battle rifle shots, and the cleanup immediately coming in once more.
Yeah, very nice work. And there's only one alive there. That's, I think, going to be Johan there in bottom control. We'll see if they can clean that one up as well. And I don't know, there's something about Bola Tomada that is just absolutely epic when we talk about the oddball in-game announcing. Somehow even more epic than ball taken, for sure.
I mean, look at the score, though, doubling up at the moment. Cintanegra X. Really strong first round from them, and Cintanegra really struggling to break this long hold, long hold kind of works as well. That is coming in at the moment. Hrimgel's got the shock rifle back in his hand. This time we need to stay on this man because he's not missing too many shots. As I say that, I curse him for just a few seconds, but maybe he's going to make a little bit of a desperate play for this camo. If he gets away with camo shock and they have set up and ball, this could be the game, but finally gets taken down by Gotti.
I mean, this is also just as fast-paced as we expected, right, Mark? We said these two teams are going to be flying at each other. They're going to waste no time. Based on the last 2 games that we saw, they are just going to be playing as aggressive as possible. It will be also a grapple here for Johan. He checks the shock ledge, not up just yet, but we'll see if they can hold here and close out this game.
Good shots coming in from Johan as well onto Leo, the player that we're watching right now. And now you're seeing Cintanegra get a setup of their own for the first time, really, in quite some time. If they're able to hold as effectively as CX were, then we might be getting to a point where this could be the game. So, or should I say the round, excuse me. A couple of kills go their way as well. They clean out Elevator. Now if they can clear this final player out on Pipes, that'll be a fresh 4 dead. And they've got a total setup here, complete map control, and they are closing in on that 82-point lead.
Let's see how they push here. All right, we saw Dolan was the last one to spawn up. Hrimgel, Leor, and Sepstars all spawn together, so expecting to see a rotate if they get gold control here.
Yeah, Bullet's got the shock rifle as well. He's already managed to pick up 1. They should have a 2v1 situation here on Pipes. They can clean this player out. That will be 3 dead as well. An opportunity to just scrape a bit more ball time up, which they're not going to turn away from. And now you're seeing them just within a few points here. Huge moment in this game. The next set of kills could be the round. Even with 2 minutes and 20 left on the clock, if it's a threat 3 or 4 dead, that could be it. Guardian's last alive now for Cintanegra.
2-1. Look at this. Guardian tries to nade it. He has to get away. Sepstars barely stays alive as well. That was a 2v1, and Guardian did what he needed to get the damage and keep the nades off somehow. Cintanegra able to maintain a little bit of composure there, even in that 2v1.
Well, 2 dead as well. Leo, though, playing sneaky in that corner. Needs to get in a position to get this oddball, though, because you can see that the lead is now in the hands of Cintanegra. They have managed to turn this game around once again. This round looked like it was destined to go into CX's hands. We're just 6 points on the board. It looks like there's not even enough time for Hrimgel to get across the map and get that ball out of their hands. That will be the round, and Cintanegra, what a hold that was, because they were down by about 60 points.
I mean, how fitting, right? This is the only way these two teams know how to play. It's neck and neck every single time we see them, regardless of the map, regardless of the game type. They do it again. That first round will narrowly go in the hands of Cintanegra, and we'll see if they can now get another round on the board.
We see that both teams know how to move that oddball, how to hold, how to set up. It's about who's going to be able to execute best and who's almost better at breaking the setups that could win this game. Johan's getting the camo early on. He's last alive, though, so a lot of resources thrown towards getting that first power-up.
Gonna grab the grapple here. Probably slow play. This shock is already off the platform, so that's his first priority. He's actually going to find him in Hrimgel, and he gets some help as well. Got to highlight some big performance here. It's got to be Guardian. He's already 14-8 in this game.
Repulsor was good. Grapple was good to stay alive for a few seconds as well. Well, you are completely right. The players that are putting up the most kills on the map seem to be falling onto the side of Cintanegra for now. Hrimgel, can he be the catalyst here? Can he be the player to just light the fire? The sparks need to be lit at this point. The player tries to escape on his team. He keeps him alive for now. Luar actually manages to get away from that somehow or other. But 2 players now down to low shields, and Hrimgel's going to re-challenge on the Pipes as the push comes in.
Very good shots from Hrimgel. Oh, boom, boom, boom. My God, Guardian flies, and he's got flies in the gamer tag for a reason, because he just comes into Pipes and sneaks away with a melee battle and then scurries away. And you got to think it's plays like that that were a big difference maker in the first round. But look at the time on the board. That's our first ball point scored in this whole round. These two teams playing a little bit more apprehensive in round 2.
I don't think there's just been an opportunity to get that ball back to Pipes. Finally, it's going to be taken. Apprehensive is a good word to use. Everyone just valuing their lives a little bit more, not being able to get a fresh 3 or 4 dead to get a complete setup. But Cintanegra now do have the semblance and what seems like the starting point for a setup to start to form. However, Dolan gets a kill, and now it's up to Bullet to hold off these pushes coming in as last player. Bullet, excuse me, as last player for his team. We always managed to get that ball in hands, and now if he can hit a few shots here, Bullet, that could create an opening for that break.
Bullet's just going to wait and bait here. I love this play. Look how long Bullet's taking. He plays the ball out of bat ledge, then he just rotates gold. He plays his angles. He's a total pain in the butt, finally picking up even more kills and batteries as well, and that whole time denies any time for Cintanegra X.
Look at this flank coming in, though. Picks up 1, opportunity to pick up 2. Really, really solid shots on the player trying to approach on the stairs, but just loses him for a second. We'll have to find out how that fight happens at another time, but Magico is going to have the camo. That's the most important thing to focus on here. He's the player who can make a difference.
We'll wonder for a long time the end of that tale. 17 kills on the board here for Guardians. Actually 17 and 10 will finally hit double-digit deaths. It took him a long time, but great shots from Magico on Leor as well, and he'll stay alive at backseat.
Gets a clean up as well, and Sepstar's now the last player alive. Donna's just come off of spawn, so you'll see the oddball now being moved back towards the pipes. That's where the successful setup came for Cintanegra. On them that first round, and if they can recreate something even slightly similar to what we saw, this could be the swing game, match number 3 going their way.
Certainly could. Hrimgel, last player alive for Ekis, and how many times have we said that over the course of this series? It feels like even though he's popping off in a lot of the games, he's also the one left with the responsibility of deciding what to do as the last solo player alive and having to make plays like this, like the one you're seeing on your screen where he's panicking and trying to do whatever he can to get a kill when he's alone, and so far he manages to do it again.
I mean, he could have done more in that situation. He is doing everything he can to survive, to escape, to get kills and create openings for his team, but no damage being done for him to really capitalize on by the rest of the team. And Cintanegra just seems to be locking down this pipe setup once more. It's 52-20 now.
Yeah, 18 and 10 for Guardian at this point. He's going to keep racking up kills while they keep racking up points, and about to be 60-20. Only 40 points to go for the side of Cintanegra, and they are just shooting every single thing that moves at bottom mid there, and it was a camo burn for Hrimgel, and it seems like it's a story that's all too familiar for the side of Cintanegra Ekis.
Score's got out of hand now. That elevator set up, the rotation has come in. Johan's cleaned out all of blue and long haul, so you can see the pipe spawns, the gold spawns are as far away as possible for this odd ball to be challenged from. The player who's holding it is going to be safe for another 10 seconds or so, and that might just be enough to see this round done and dusted. If a couple of kills can be picked up, Johan finds 2 with a stick. That's a killing spree, the perfect time to do it. He's hunting down the triple. Unfortunately for him, every single player has fallen, and that will be game number 3 going to Cintanegra.
Wow, and that's a very different game from the other games that we've seen in this series. It was highly contested 1-1, but to be honest, that second round was a bit of an outlier in this series. The first round pretty close, but Cintanegra, the OGs, they will take game number 3 with a score of 2-0.
A really, really strong comeback from them as well. The way that they dominated that game once they got those holds was very, very impressive, and that's sometimes the thing that kind of separates these top teams, right? We see the Slayers, sometimes they're close between a few of the seeds. They're sort of outlying from each other, but it's those real control-based objective game types where you do see the better teams really start to come to the fore. And I mean, Guardian, 18 kills for him, just the 10 deaths. Very, very impressive game from him, but you could look at, again, all the stats, everyone doing their job as required for Cintanegra.
Yeah, a great performance from them, and you have to wonder, maybe that's just a little bit of extra boost that they needed to remind themselves that they're a tier above the likes of Ekis, and maybe we'll see them quickly end this series in one more game. Of course, on the side of Cintanegra Ekis, they're going to have something to say about that. They want to send this to a 5th game if they can.
Next game is going to be Aquarius as well, so another fast-paced game type, another objective-based game type, and another one that you would feel maybe is going to fall into the hands of Cintanegra, having seen the organization they had in that last game and the way that they were able to control certain areas of the map and deny any kind of space. Hi everyone. Any kind of space for their opponents to work in. I think this could well be the last game of the series, but if it does go to that game 5 and we see Cintanegra X surprise us once more, then I mean, with a Slayer, anything can really happen, and it's live fire, so anything really can happen.
I don't get blown wide open. Hey Lot.
Hey Wes.
Hey Wes. It's good to see you guys. We're just checking in with the squad. We want to see how everyone's doing.
10:15 p.m. on the East Coast. It's whatever 6 a.m. in the UK. We're just making sure everyone's chilling.
You can't just make things up like that. It's 3:15 a.m. in the UK.
It doesn't matter at this point.
6 a.m.
It's just the same thing. It's the same thing. Time really doesn't matter anymore.
If I'm casting Halo, I'm happy. I don't care what time it is.
But the one thing we will say, the only place that time matters right now, to us it doesn't matter. It hasn't mattered for years, actually, for us, and probably for many of you joining on Twitch and YouTube as well. Time is no longer a factor. But for the players in Mexico City, right, we're past 9 p.m. It's getting later in the evening. It's been a long day of Halo. The longer these series go on, right, the more energy they're going to have to find, that they're going to have to see if they have in the reserve, because this series is not going to get any easier. For the side of Cintanegra, they're going to want to close this one out. For the side of Cintanegra X, they need to win this game right here. They need to send us to a game 5 and get ready to see what Sunday might bring. But neither of these teams want to go down here and lose at this stage.
They certainly don't, and you never want it. Remember, this is an upper bracket game, right? This is a championship bracket game, and every single step along the line is more money, more opportunity to compete for that third spot, that second spot, that first place spot, all of which will be going to Orlando to compete in the major. And I tell you what, the way these teams are playing at the moment, if you're like a decent North American team, you're thinking, I'm going to go into this tournament feeling really confident, and I see one of these names coming up in the bracket, I'm worried, because these guys they are shooting better than straight. They are pulling off some crazy stuff, and if they can find that coordination, they're going to make a deep run in that tournament.
Oh, certainly. I think a lot of these players are maybe starting to realize, right? Maybe on Friday it was a little bit surreal. For a lot of them, they don't have a ton of LAN experience, and they're thinking, okay, this is awesome. I'm really excited to see what we could do. We've done the work online. We know what this takes. But you have to think, maybe after 2 full days of play, they're realizing, wait a minute, we've made it this far out of pool play into the brackets. This really could be a big tournament for us. We could come home with some big paychecks, guaranteed spots in Orlando. There's a lot to play for. So this might be becoming a bit more real for these players as time goes on.
Well, for now, the players just taking a second and waiting for whatever issues seem to be occurring to disappear once again. As you get the world's this isn't actually the steady cam operative, by the way. This is a camera on a stand.
Fixed cam operator.
Yeah, this is a fixed cam operated by an operator. I don't know where to go at this point. I've been filling so much time today, Andy. I'm kind of running out of content. I've got to be honest.
That's not
true.
Come
back to us.
You know you're not running out of content.
Spanish lessons. Can you teach me how to say congratulations to our champions?
Felicidades.
Felicidades?
No. Felicidades.
Gee, I picked like the worst word. Like, right,
what if
break
you
it down?
were to...
Break it down for me. Break it down for me.
Okay.
Felici.
You got it.
What's the next?
Felicidades.
Lade.
No. Dades. Dades.
I'm going to say good job. Anyway, let's go back to... I mean, the good thing is, last time we saw this, I was probably shooting an oddball recharge. We've done that.
We have. Progress.
Done. Look at that. Filled in the blue, light blue, the sky blue, the turquoise of Cintanegra Esports as they take it 2-0 in quite some fashion. And now we get to move on to capture the flag Aquarius, Andy. Now, my question to you is, do you think that we're going to see this graphic again, or do you think we're going to go into the game very soon?
Okay, I think we're going to see Cintanegra close it out. I want to see it go to a game 5.
Okay. It looks like we're going into the game. However, I have been fooled before. Let's hope we can get in there and see if we have the conclusion of our series. And Cintanegra do close it out and move in that upper bracket, one stage further along towards that grand final, or if it's going to be Cintanegra X who send us to a game 5. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm down for a game 5 right now. I feel like a game 5 is going to be a lot of fun.
Sign me the F up. I want to see a game number 5. That's what I want to see. And I'm ready for it. I'm going to teach you another word, Mark, while we wait. No, I'm not. We're going right into gameplay. Let's go. Here we go.
I'm terrified of what you might have on the menu for me. You might
game number 4. Let's go.
Okay, game number 4. Let's get on with this. Let's refocus and let's do our jobs for just a few moments at least. Camouflage is going to be up top middle, and you can see Doyan not getting that, but looks like he might have just about got the burn there. Not sure if that is going to be still down top middle. It looks like I've just heard the audio for it being popped, so maybe it wasn't popped. We were fooled. We were bamboozled. We were hoodwinked.
Happens to the best of us. Johan's going to get that camo, and like I was thinking the same thing. That camo made a little bit too much noise there at the end. It was picked up in the end. Sepstars was the... Johan gets eagle-eyed by Leor. These players are the sharpest-eyed players I've ever seen. Every single camo in the game is getting eagle-eyed at 240 hertz, and Johan gets melted.
Did a good job to get that double kill, considering that he did get eagle-eyed in the way that he did. Sepstars is just making sure that the plants are nice and healthy, fully watered, as he waits for his teammates to move on the pink side to give him a bit of support. Unfortunately, the time that it took meant that Guardian was able to spot him out and take him down. But I mean, you look at how this game is playing so far, Andy, it's no surprise. It's just two teams flying at each other, just trying to get any kind of opening to get that flag moving.
Absolutely. 2 dead for both sides momentarily. We are going to see players come off the respawn, but no advantages that are coming in just yet. Mahiko is going to keep his shields, try to see if he can make a gen push happen here, and very nice shots against Leor, but they do find Hrimgel, who is across enemy lines and should be cleaned up at the bottom, and they will, so that will make it now 3-3 across the map.
A little bit of hand-holding going on bottom middle between the two teammates there, and it works out for them as two players do combine to take down 2 members of Cintanegra X. Unfortunately, Hrimgel's going to be there once again just to cause a problem, just to cause a ruckus. There's the thrust, but there again is Hrimgel. That's a double muerte for him. But across the map, there's Guardian listening to those call-outs and getting the cleanup.
So far, a scoreless start here across the first 2 minutes of play, and to be honest, with the speed that these two teams play, a little thrust here coming in for Leor will not pay off in the end, though. And excuse me, the nameplate was updated there, and I can't keep up because Caster's Curse is absolutely just dominating anyone that pops onto the screen. Flag is still out. Johan's going to stop the run momentarily. 2 dead for Cintanegra, but here comes the Ekis run.
Well, here is the run, and who else but Hrimgel, the man who seems to be at the center of all things good that have happened to Cintanegra X throughout the tournament so far. A couple of kills have been picked up by his teammates as well. He just needs to run this one home. It seems they've got the slays that are required. They also need to get a flag return. There it is, and it's going to be Cintanegra X who managed to get that first flag on the board. This has got Game 5 written all over it.
Bandera capturada. Incredible cap there, and they're going to be the first to strike, as you say, and Cintanegra Ekis certainly wanted to put one on the board first, and in doing so, they give themselves just that little bit of extra cushion to continue slaying, to continue pushing up the map. Let's continue the pressure on, but that one flag is really going to help them make sure that they play the game at their pace.
Well, Cintanegra having to play some defense at the moment. I had to say defense. I had to think about that because I've got into this like motion of saying defense, which is how Wes would say it. It's defense. Dolan, he's going to be trying to just escape for now, and Guardian now is going to go on the offense and try and push forward and might have the opportunity to hit this slide and get this flag moving. However, there is Hrimgel again, just to be that nuisance every time you see him on the screen. I mean, the man's 12-4 at the moment, Andy.
I mean, ridiculous numbers. He's absolutely popped off. And the flag stays up top. Unfortunate for Guardian, and that will mean that Cintanegra will need to go back into the base to continue that flag run, which, to be honest, is going to be a bit awkward and clunky. It's great defense from the side of Ekis, but I could not agree more. Hrimgel, this is not a name that we are going to see the end of anytime soon. He's 13-4 in this game. He's put on a show, and it's only Saturday.
And the perfect place to put on a show, right? On the main stage, under the bright lights, in a pressure situation in the winner's bracket with a chance to move on and be the player that everyone's talking about after the tournament is done. But Bullet's got the camo now for Cintanegra. He's going to pick up 1 kill. Maybe this is the opening they require just to get a bit of map control, because it feels like at the moment Cintanegra have had to play a lot of the game on their side of the base.
Certainly have. Feels like 2 dead for both teams for the majority of the game. That really has been the story, and that explains the low scoring. It also explains a little bit of the stalemate-y feel that we've had in this game. Meanwhile, Hrimgel will be the major outlier in this one, 13-5 at this stage, which is pretty wild, and certainly putting the team on his back in a little bit of a capacity. But Leor and Dolan both double-digit assists already as well.
Who else but Hrimgel? Hey, put that on a t-shirt. He picks up yet another kill, but this is the first time we've seen a run that looks like it has some semblance of success about it. The kills are vital, though. Every single player on the map is alive right now. Guardian gets the first pick, though, onto Dolan, and now you've seen Johan get his hands dirty, get his hands on that flagpole and run it home, and it looks like they've held off just long enough. They pick up the kills required. Johan makes a mess of it, or maybe just makes it look a little bit flashy, but at the end of the run, it means it's converted. It's 1-1 now.
They looked at him, they said, Johan, put your hands on that flag and get that thing back to the base. And that is exactly what he did. He's not afraid to put the points on the board. We are tied 1-1. And Johan, by the way, is 13-8.
13-8. Once again, popping off a little bit here. Not only the objective point going to him, but also most kills for his team. Cintanegra X now trying to deal with the pressure. Oh my word, those shots were ridiculous from that angle. Lovely little bit of movement around the front of the base on the bonfire to cause the problems, but having bought himself enough time. Now you're going to see Sebstars bringing this one home. They've lost a couple of players, but the flag is not home, so they've got to get that return once more.
Yeah, 3v3 here. Sebstars narrowly avoids the nade that came on the gen bridge. Luckily stays alive. A little bit of extra damage as well. Well-timed shots. And honestly, based on the engagement there from that side, you're surprised that he's able to even get that much damage all the way into Pink 1. And that should give his team an opportunity to push up. That was too dead for Cintanegra. This should be a return.
Should be a return, but look where the respawns are coming in. Bullet's not going to be able to get around that corner. This isn't online Halo Infinite. This is LAN, and those shots are certainly going to hit hard. The kills just being staggered at the moment. You can see the Cintanegra have lost a couple, so now the focus on return turns to just defending this flag themselves, and Johan's flying in, and Johan don't care. He wants to get his hands on a return this time.
Wants to put his hands on every flag he can. That's exactly what he has in mind, and we'll see if that's going to be the case. This is a big moment here. Big flag standoff tied 1-1. This one could be a big factor in the final scoreline.
Well, it's having to be careful as well, as an overextension is coming on the pink side. That's usually a little bit of a sign of desperation. 2 kills now full. Cintanegra not in a good place here, and it looks like the return might be coming in pretty soon. However, it looks like they managed to once again get a touch on that. So Bullets decided it's time to go forward and see if I can be the man to be the hero for my team.
Nice little work here from Bullet, just flying and hitting every slide he needed to get across the map. And here comes the assault. They need to get the kills, then they'll follow it up with the return. The second one comes in. Should be a third big trade in the back of the base, though.
Huge trade. If that trade doesn't happen, the flag is going home.
It's still should. There it goes.
A little bit of delay on it. It does go home. There's the 2-1 lead. Cintanegra go up by 1.
In the end, Guardian able to hold it down, and they will get 4 dead, and it required sending all 3 players of Cintanegra into the Ekis base. They said, this is enough of that. We're going to send in 75% of our squad. We're going to leave the flag on the stand with the very capable hands of Guardian, and see if we can make this 3v4 push happen. In the end, they did it. They got all 4 dead. That will be the return. And now we're seeing another flag being ran by Bullet once again.
This could be the dagger. If you lose one flag, you lose the flag standoff, and then 2 seconds later, you find yourself having to desperately fight not to go down 3-1. That could be too much to come back from at this stage. Good patience being shown here by Cintanegra as well, waiting for those desperate lunges to come in, desperate angles to be taken, and they take advantage of it. It's now 3-1. They're up by 2, and with 3 minutes and 16 seconds left on the clock, that might just be too much of an ask, but we have seen crazy comebacks on Aquarius.
Yes, yeah, especially on Aquarius CTF. We have seen some wild stuff, so we've learned the hard way not to count anyone out just yet. This game is still within reach. 3 minutes on the clock. They're only down by 2 flags as well, but I tell you what, Cintanegra, they have looked a different breed in the second half of the series.
Sidekick only gets to pop the shields, not pop up in the kill feed, as the player will get that beat down. Stars are starting to come alive a little bit for Cintanegra X as well, who's struggling a little bit earlier on in this game. Dolan is on our screen at the moment, and he seems to be a little bit slower than what we've seen previously as well. 8-19 for him, but if he can start just catching fire at the right time, and he needs to, if they want to keep this upper bracket run alive, then there might be an opportunity here. Guardian's fallen here for Cintanegra. It's a 3v2 on the map, so they can get this flag moving, but next kill's once again vital. If they don't fall to Cintanegra X, then there will be a return, and not only that, a counter cap opportunity.
He knew how fast he needed to go. Look at this, on the heels. Guardian and Cintanegra were ready for that return. He pulled that flag with only 1 dead. It was a risky pull. It doesn't look like it's going to pay off.
Looks like the return has come in, and also the flag is moving. So Cintanegra X, they tried to commit. They tried to do everything they could as they need to get that flag home. And here's Bullet just returning to his base with that camouflage. This is looking like it could be one of the final plays of the game, because the flag is back home. They just need to get that touch, get that return, jump on it with the camo, and that will be 4-1 to Cintanegra, which might just be too much.
Ooh. Magico will be taken down, but like you said, the flag should go. Magico is going to be the one on your screen to take it down. 4 dead, though. So, yes, it's a 4-1 lead. 1 minute 30 left. Can we see Cintanegra Ekis get another flag on the board? You have to think with the time left, the result might be inevitable, though.
Felt like if it was 2 flags,
maybe
I'd give them a chance. 3 flags, yeah. I'm not sure if there's enough time to really make enough of a dent. Johan is going to be taken down there. Humgal is just saying, do you know what? I'll do everything. I'll pick up double kill in the base. I'll out BR someone. I'm plus 10. I might as well run a flag as well.
Less than 1 minute left now on the clock, and could be a flag that ends it, or it could be just time that ends it for the side of Cintanegra.
3 dead.
Dolan running this flag, though. 2 dead for both sides. Might be able to make it 4-2 here. Should be able to do it, but a flag does get pulled on a pink run.
Gotta watch that pink overextension. We've all been there. We all know how frustrating it is when there's just one player who seeks in, just throws that flag out, delays that flag cap, and now with the seconds just burning away, even if a return comes in here, there's not going to be enough time. That's 4 dead for Cintanegra X. The return will come in as well. And now with 20 seconds left, Danny, I think it's time for us to almost announce that Cintanegra will be winning this series 3-1.
Yeah, this is a victory lap. These last 10 seconds, they just get to pad the stats just a little bit. Whatever side of the stage you're on, but I think there's one side of the stage that's going to be really happy as the time ticks down.
Time is ticking down. The shields are flashing, the noises are there, but the only noise is going to be coming from one side of that stage, and it's Cintanegra who close out the series 3-1 with a comfortable win on Aquarius capture the flag.
And you got to feel like with all that was teed up for, feels like Cintanegra X is definitely going to be thinking about this series when they get back to their hotel room this evening, thinking there's more that we could have left on that main stage. We could have gotten a little bit better results. However, I think they should have their heads held high. They played against a very, very talented Cintanegra team, and honestly, Guardian, Johan, Nasty Bullet, and Mexico, they looked great. And to be honest, they're another team that, even though in the beginning things looked neck and neck, those last 2 games were very different.